Hello, Leo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of December 7th through the 13th, and during that time, we'll have a waning gibbous moon, and that could be a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth, a good time to get rid of bad habits and negative thinking and work towards achieving those goals and things that we've been working on for this cycle. We also have the last quarter moon that comes in on the 13th, and that is a really good time for reflection, releasing what no longer serves us, taking responsibility for things that we've done in this cycle, and just kind of starting to prepare for that new moon. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading is hold your vision. I can hold that card there. All right, let's see what the Leo Collective might have going on for this week. As I'm shuffling the tarot cards, I would like to say that my fun weekly reminder this week is that you take a little bit of time to meditate. So, if that's something that you don't work into your daily practice, even if it's just a few minutes a day, if you can do it, it's a good thing to work in there. So try to give that a shot this week, and at least trying to work on it. It's just a really good time with the current moon energy that's going on. It's a little more, relaxing and self-reflective. So good time to try to start that and start working that into your routine. So, okay, let's get into this reading. December 7th through the 13th. Hold your vision, and your overall present energy is the King of Wands. So whatever this vision is for you, it definitely involves something that you feel very passionately about, but it's also something that you're very knowledgeable, something that you've spent the time really doing the work to learn about, to understand in and out. And this to me, reminds me of, someone who's maybe an artist who's really taken the time to, learn their instrument, or if they're an actor, to really learn their craft, to take, learn different methods and things that they can do. If they're an artist, to really learn, the medium that they work within. So it's someone who's, just very, very passionate about something, but they've taken that time to be super, super knowledgeable about it as well, which can take years. That's something that really takes dedication. Your current situation is the Strength card, which I believe is the card of your sign. I keep saying I'm going to learn, and know better the astrology of these cards. It's a lot. I'll just say that I do learn a little bit all the time, but to know it a lot, like I said, something takes years. This is one of those things. But the Strength card. So, your current situation is that you're strong enough to make those decisions about this thing that you're super, super passionate about. Also, at the root of your situation this week is the Ace of Wands. So, this is something, maybe a new element to this passion that you've been working on, or some, some moment, some gift that you're given that just makes you even stronger, makes you know more about it, makes you, could just be some time that you've spent recently, or, just some new element that comes into it, that just strengthens it even more, which is really awesome. In your recent past is the Empress. So, this is our card of creativity. Do you have something creative coming up? I love the coloring that's happening on this reading right now, and we'll see where that goes as well. But, our Empress card, excuse me, I do have to say, this is the ultimate creator. This is the ultimate being creative. So, many times that is about pregnancy, it's creating life. But if it's not about that, which I always mention that, but it's also taking the time to give birth to something that does take something that takes time and energy long term. It's not something that you decide to do overnight and you're done with it the next day and it's a done project. This is something that you really put your heart and time and energy into, that takes a long time for it to come to fruition. And that's, in your past. And I feel like you've taken that time, you've done that kind of work on whatever this is. So again, your overall message here is to hold your vision on this, the vision that you initially had for this, or that has been even revamped, even, fine-tuned and honed in on, to hold that vision, because it looks like things may come to fruition with it. What is on your mind this week is the moon card. So this is about, maybe you've had some sort of dream. This is about things that come to you, in the synchronistic realm, in the ethereal realm, that maybe you can't put your finger on. It's those synchronicity things that you overhear something, or there's just kind of little messages in the universe that make you go, that's interesting that I'm reading the sign that was placed right in front of me that is encouraging about this. Or it could be some number sequence or some angel number that comes to you, but also could be something, in the dream realm, that you have a dream about something, and it just plays out and you're like, wow, I just dreamed about that. So that's kind of on your mind, that there's either maybe some signs or something that's kind of pointing you in a particular direction. So make sure that you are listening to those signs. What is just ahead of you this week is the Hermit. Okay, so we've got, look at these major arcana that are showing up now. So now we've got four. So I feel like this is kind of a good pivotal week for you, and especially in learning. But we've got the Hermit, which is about going within to really, to do like an inner quest for your own wisdom. We all have those answers inside of us, and sometimes it just takes quieting that mind. Like I said, like meditation, it takes quieting your mind to really think, what is the answer to this question? If there is a question, or if there's a direction that you're trying to head and you're asking that question. So you're going to use your intuition. You're also going to use your own inner wisdom. That's just kind of that thing that you need the answer to. In your advice position here is the Eight of Swords. So this is definitely thinking your way through something, right? This is someone who appears to be kind of trapped and locked in, and you can tell that she's got one foot in the water, one on dry land there. But none of these, these little gauzy things here don't look like they're holding her that strongly, right? It looks like she could almost, wiggle her way out and get one of those swords to cut everything off of her and rip that blindfold off and be clear. So this is about thinking your way out of something. Is it some predicament, something? And your advice is to kind of just use your mind, go inside, like the Hermit says, and think your way around it. Also use those clues from the universe, those synchronicities and things that come about. There's lots of things around you. Plus, you're strong enough to do whatever it is that you're putting ahead that you do want to do. What is beyond your control this week is the Four of Wands. I've seen this card quite a bit in the readings this week, but a little bit of celebration, a little bit of like, yay, that worked out. So, and that's more of that yellow coloring. Those are my favorite cards in the deck. It just, it's like, I don't know, to me, they're like fresh starts, new things that are going on. They represent creativity, that sort of thing, which I really like those things. All right, secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid. There's another one with the Magician. Okay, so here's the Magician saying, what is it that you want? Are you trying to avoid that, asking that question, or is it your secret desire to ask that question? And not only what do you want, which element will you choose here to move forward? You're going to move forward in your life in this next phase in some emotional realm or some financial realm, something with passion or something with communication and words and thoughts, that sort of thing. So that'll be your big question of the week is, do you want to face that Magician and answer that question this week, or are you trying to avoid the Magician? So ask yourself that, and it'll be different for different Leos. So, not everybody is going to have the same answer, but that'll be your big question of this week, is to ask yourself that, do you want to move forward or not? And if so, in which way? In your outcome position, rest and meditation, which is very much like this Hermit card. And I've also seen this card came out, I think, for maybe it was Gemini or Taurus, I can't remember, but that was their wrap up as well. And that's kind of where the moon energy is this week, is kind of in that reflection, that meditation mode. So both of these cards too are very um kind of go with the moon energy of the week, that you would definitely be reflecting and kind of trying to make decisions and things, where you do have to go within and really kind of evaluate where you've been and think about where you want to go. What is hidden from you this week, Leo, is the Lover's card. So nothing about relationships or, partnerships or anything that's kind of hidden from you this week. It's not your sole focus. So maybe this does appear to be something, more in the passion realm of something that you're really into when it comes to, your art, or even a job that you work at that you're really passionate about. So depending on your life and how you're set up there. All right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Leo, December 7th through the 13th. Strengthen your gifts, okay, which it seems you've been doing. Just keep at it. Got that Ace of Wands there. And again, this King of Wands, which really is about that. It's about finding that knowledge. So just continue on that path. Apparently seems to be the message there. What you need to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Leo. And the card for you is the card that says success. Today is a really good day. You're in the flow. Problems are solved quickly and easily. Helpful people show up for you, and unexpected gifts fall into your lap. So, what do they say? That success is when luck and being prepared meet. So, very interesting. That's kind of, to me, what that card is saying, is that you've been prepared. Hopefully, that luck is just something that comes in for you. So, Leo, thank you so much for being here with me. I really hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use positively in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything going on in this realm, that if this reading made sense to you, anything spoke to you there. If you have questions too, I'd be happy to answer those. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week and we can see where this story goes. So thank you so much, Leo, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.